welcome to Silver and Black Films presents Can the Raiders Solve Their Problems in Time?
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
The trio of GM Mike Mayock, head coach Jon Gruden, and quarterback Derek Carr are having a good first year together so far. Gruden and Mayock's 2019 draft could be the best in team history, and their free agency wasn't bad. And Carr has done a good job of picking up his play and leading the new players. Then many were amazed to see them go 6-4 over their first 10 games with as tough a schedule as they had. Then they scratched their heads when they got blown out by a hot Jets team with a bad record. Then everyone blamed Carr, citing the way he's played in cold weather over his career. But Carr has solved that problem along with many of his other problems, and I'll show you. He's just in year one of a rebuild, with the Raiders shuffling players on and off the roster during the season. Many don't realize it because the Raiders are sitting at 6-5 with the playoffs still in reach. But this is a young team full of new players, and they've already gone through a lot of injuries, suspensions, and players losing their minds. So the question is, can the Raiders solve all these problems in time to make a playoff push? Carr is not the problem, but he wasn't perfect last week, so we'll start with the bad. He drops back and sees Tyrell Williams is double covered, and the nearest man to check down option Darren Waller is dang near 10 yards away. Throw it to him. He doesn't and gets sacked. Here we go again, and this time he's going to force one into coverage. Waller is covered here, but Hunter Renfrow and Williams have separation, and you know what happens when you try to force it. This is an interception return for a touchdown. But it wasn't all Carr's fault that he was 15 of 27 for 127 yards in that interception. He also did some good things like escape the pocket and find his targets. He also found targets after sliding within the pocket. He does that much better now than he did in the past. He was on target for the most part too. This isn't a drop by tight end Derek Carrier, but he should have put both hands up instead of trying to corral it with just one, missing out on a gain of 22. And this here is a flat out drop by Renfrow, missing out on a gain of at least 10. And this here is going to be a 33-yard touchdown pass dropped by Waller. And here's another drop on the stat sheet for Waller, wiping out 8 yards. Put that together with this big drop, and Carr would have been 20 of 27 for 223 yards, a touchdown, and an interception in a little over a half. Not bad for cold weather. The Antonio Brown debacle is still a problem the Raiders need to solve. He came in talking big with all that hype, and all he did was practice a few times for the Raiders. And he looked good, creating a lot of excitement. You can see now that the Raiders would be contenders if Brown had kept his head. But he had to mess up the crustaceans that they call his feet. Then he threw a tantrum over his helmet issue, but they solved that so he could play, right? Nope, he was doing everything he could to get to the New England Patriots, which explains this celebration.
The Raiders free!
So that left Williams, a career backup, to be the #1 receiver, and at first, he did a good job. He showed he can go over the middle to make the possession catches. At 6'4", 205 pounds, he can go up and get the deep ball in traffic. And he's fast too, so he can also run by you for the deep ball. And he was also good in the red zone. Oh. He wasn't just good in the red zone, he was great in the red zone. Sometimes he did it with separation. Other times he contorted his body and adjusted to the ball. Williams scored 4 touchdowns in his first 4 games, but he would miss some time due to injury. Speaking of injury, superfast J.J. Nelson stayed injured, so he was cut. All that left the Raiders scrambling for bodies at receiver, so they brought back Keelan Doss, who the team had previously cut. And they traded for Trevor Davis. And they each did a little something to help the team. But by the time they played the Green Bay Packers in Week 7, they didn't have the same scoring punch on offense. So the team suffered. Then in Week 8, Williams would return to score his 5th touchdown in his 5th game with a creative route. And since then, he's been inconsistent, sometimes making big plays, and other times coming up missing, dropping footballs. So tight end Darren Waller had become the team's #1 receiver. At 6'6", 250, he can possess the ball well over the middle. He's also good on the out cut. And with his super fast 4.4 tight end speed, he can get deep. He can split your cover too with his speed down the middle all day. And if you go single high, he'll beat you outside. And he will make you pay for getting picked at the line of scrimmage. He'll beat any kind of coverage you have with his height, weight, and speed. Waller also knows how to turn that thing up the field after the catch. He can hurt you just like a running back or a receiver on a screenplay. Here is his route running, speed, and running after the catch in one play. And again. you can't even afford to not cover him on a short route. This is what happens after the catch if you do. Oh, and there he goes again after the catch. Waller also thrives in the red zone when the Raiders give him a chance. Being 6'6" helped him here. And of course, he has that speed and agility, but he needs Williams to play well so defenses don't take him away. 5th round pick Hunter Renfrow had carved himself out a role, especially on 3rd and short. He usually gets Carr on the offense to the chains on 3rd and short. You can't give him too much room because he will get separation. Watch him sit down in the zone here. Eventually, he started catching the ball down the field more. And he started turning those short passes into bigger gains. He's starting to come alive after the catch. Yeah, he shocked everyone with this 65-yard touchdown. Then he's going to get his guy in the scramble drill. But now he's hurt and the Raiders are scrambling to replace him. Zay Jones, whom the Raiders just traded for a couple of weeks ago, seems like the likeliest candidate. He can put in work outside and from the slot. Oh, there goes the separation. Look at the route though. Got a little run after the catch in him too. 4.2 40 running. Rico Gafford was just promoted to the travel squad, so I'm excited to see what he may do. Hopefully the Raiders can piece together their passing game. The Raiders also have problems defending the pass, and losing leader and Mike linebacker Vontaze Burfict has a lot to do with that. Everyone knows him as the big-time run stuffer. And his ability to blitz and defensive coordinator Paul Guenther's double A gap system. But they forget the man can cover anything from tight ends to running backs to slot receivers. But unfortunately, this hit has him suspended for the rest of the season. Tahir Whitehead, his replacement, can play the run just fine. can even come with it in that double A gap blitz. But the Temple tough linebacker has always had problems in coverage. Right now, he's giving up a near perfect passer rating of 147.8 and he's given up 5 touchdowns. I love Whitehead because he's a tough SOB, but I don't want him in coverage with the game on the line. The Raiders have been easing in Will Compton at the mic with Whitehead at the Sam at the end of games lately. They need to make that permanent with Whitehead coming off the field on passing downs. The Raiders would be giving anything up in their run defense with Compton at the mic. He can get downhill and make a play. And he can go sideline to sideline. And with this speed, he can hit the A-gap on a blitz. He's also good in zone coverage, stopping the ball for a minimal gain. And even though he hasn't done it for the Raiders yet, he can play in man coverage. This is him on Jimmy Graham back in 2017. Nicholas Morrow would then be the will here. And he plays the run okay. He's also a fast linebacker, making him dangerous on a blitz. And he's good in zone defense, whether it be hitting somebody right after the catch, or creating a valuable turnover with an interception. And with his speed, he's even pretty good in man coverage. But I say pretty good because he has taken his lumps. The Raiders are actually okay at corner, with Daryl Worley playing well, Trayvon Mullen coming along, and LaMarcus Joyner coming back, but safety is a problem. First round pick Jonathan Abram went out for the season in week 1. And here's what they're missing in Carl Joseph, who just went out for the season a couple of weeks ago. Oh, he went flying through the air. He's obviously a big hitter and he can come off the edge on the safety blitz. He's even figured out how to cover those big tight ends as he saved the game here. And he's good at staying over the top on the back end. Eric Harris, on the other hand, isn't Joseph, but he can hit a little bit. And as a robber, he can jump the heck out of a route. But he has problems as a last line of defense on the back end. And covering tight ends one-on-one, forget it. It's either a touchdown or interference. So the Raiders recently picked up DJ Swearinger to do some of those other things paired up with Harris. And after not playing for a couple of months, he's a little rusty. It's not just his coverage, it's his tackling too. The Raiders need him to hurry up and sharpen up and for Harris to play the back end a little better. Cause tomorrow, they're going to be tested by these guys. And it's going to be in Kansas City, where it's cold this time of year. On offense, the Raiders already know they have Jacobs, but they need Williams to be what he was earlier in the season, using his size and speed to catch those deep balls and score from the red zone. And defenses will no longer be able to use bracket coverage to cover Waller. And if Jones can replace Renfrow, the Raiders will be fine on offense. Don't look now, but the salt and pepper combination of Max Crosby and Clelin Ferrell is coming along. The Raiders are becoming pretty disruptive up front, as they have added Dion Jordan to rush from inside. The Raiders just need Compton to arrive at linebacker. And less of this and more of this from Harris at safety. That could really bring the secondary along, especially if Swearinger gets it together. It will be a good time in Raider Nation if the Raiders can at least get most of these problems solved. Thank you for watching and see you next week.